Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training and the Runt to the Litter. We got one last video to do. He's hopefully going to go out of town tomorrow. The temperature's down to 75 degrees. We've checked it on both sides. The rules is it's got to be 85 or below, and if they get real touchy at a certain time of the year because they had problems. So good boy. He should be good and hungry because I didn't feed him his breakfast this morning. It's not a good thing to drop food on the ground, guys, because it makes a dog, especially a little puppy like this, get imprinted to go into the ground. So we don't want to have that happen if we can avoid it. Good. And I just started that yesterday. You guys missed a video because I did the whole video and I thought I was queued up the sound and it came back and I had no sound. So hopefully we got sound right now. Good. And what I was doing yesterday was trying to get him to figure out on his own that I want him to go down instead of the luring all the way. Good, there he goes. And get him to use his nose. We had a person that gave me a question or a query, a slant in regards to them having a little mutt dog, right? And they didn't think that the dog had the ability to think and concentrate and all kinds of things. But reality is that if you imprint this stuff when they're young, all dogs are the same. For the most part, I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule. For the most part, you can stretch this dog's mind and his brain just like you would a muscle, right? And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get him to start thinking. So that's why the powers of 2s and 3s are important, because you're mixing things up. And then like right now, when I started this, think about that. I was putting my palm on the top of the dog's nose and going down. His nose is in the attractant the whole time. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to give him some spatial language, and I'm giving more body language and trying to get him to realize what he's got to do on his own. So let me see if I can be quiet. And I'm not putting my hand on his face, remember? Good. And so what I'm doing, good, is I'm giving a longer pause and I'm waiting for him to figure it out, for those little wheels to start, good, to going on his own. So he's stretched to have to do the thinking, right? Yep, good boy. Yeah, good boy, good. So then you always have to stretch a dog. If you don't stretch, it's kind of like you when you do physical, you go into the gym and you work your ass off and all of a sudden you hit a plateau and you're not making any more success. You're not losing weight anymore and all of a sudden your body just goes to the same level. Well, it's the same thing. You have to stretch and you have to really work to get to that next level, right? And so if you leave the dog at a certain spot and you don't challenge him anymore and get him to try to stretch and be thinking using psychology of learning psychology, right? Good. You are going to end up with a dog that doesn't stretch to learn. And so this whole thing of powers of 2s and 3s and how I mix things up and what I do gets you a thinker. That's what we want. We want the dog to think on his own. Now you could get into total operant conditioning, which is where you just sit there and wait for the dog to do it. And there's some trainers that do that. They really believe in operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is important. Operant basically is letting the 4 quadrants, and there's a whole science behind it. But in this sense, when they do this, what they call, free shaping. Okay, free shaping is what we're looking at, not operant conditioning. Operant and classical conditioning is part of the psychology of learning. But when we're doing free shaping, we're waiting for the dog to do a behavior, and when he gives us behavior, we click and reward for it. So we get a dog that actually is more active in trying to get you to get him the reward and figuring out, so his brain is working more, right? Well, I do a lot more of a balance. So I do a lot of help with my luring, my voice tone, my body language. I do as much help as I can, but then there's times you'll see me do things like you just saw me do with this. Yep, good boy. Good, I'm trying to accent that yep, which is his release word, right? Explosion release, which is basically going into drive. Nope. Do you see what he just did? He did down on his own without having to be told to do it. He did that on his own because he's thinking and starting to think ahead. So we want that. Good. So now what I'm doing is I'm accenting my body language, which is that hand signal that I'm giving him, right? Now this can be a double-edged sword because now the dog gets so used to this body language that he needs it to be able to do anything. So if you were to be doing competition, you don't want a dog that has that crutch where you do so much body language they rely on that and you don't even realize it. Good. Good. So he figured this out, and I started this yesterday, and I was doing that little hand signal you see me doing and waiting for him to down. He wasn't doing any good at all yesterday, and all of a sudden they come back the next time and boom, they've got it, right? You ever think about when you learn and you're struggling to learn something, you can't figure it out, and all of a sudden, boom, the light goes on and you figure it out and you're on your way, right? You kind of hit that plateau. So we always got to be pushing the dog to learn more. So that's why we do the powers of 2s and 3s. We mix things up and we bring new things into it. You're making sure the dog's brain is being developed just like any other muscle in the dog's body. If I was to try to be accenting muscle and get this dog in physical shape, I want that brain to be the same thing. I want it to be very elastic. And if I do this when they're young, they learn to learn and they do a lot better throughout life anytime I try to teach them something new. Yep, good boy. Good boy, good. And I'm going to push to this way because I've been doing so much of the other way that it's getting kind of stuck in that. He's good at that. He's not as good as this one. So I'm going to keep pushing until he learns to go the other way. We've got to keep it balanced, yin and yang, right? If I do the right side, I got to do the left side. If I do the left side, I got to do the right side. Everything's got to be in balance, all right? That's true with a lot of things in training, balance, and then what I call the yin and yang of training, right? Good. Good dog, good. There you go. Yay, good boy. Yep. So I'm also accenting that yep, that break, right? Break, and that's why I do 3 objects, because I'm breaking with drive to the next object, and he gets a chance to learn what that break release is, right? Nope. Good. First sign of learning is the dog anticipating what he wants him to do. So he's doing that down on his own without any provocation because he's learning, right? And this is the first sign. Nope. Nope. Yeah, good boy. So when you have anticipation, you got to pick a point, you got to start backing off. And the biggest way to solve anticipation is just stop doing it and throw in some other things and then come back to it when he least expects it, right? Yep, yep, good boy, good. Now I've got to get this toy out here. Good boy, good. Yes, good boy, good. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to try to accent that break. So I'm going to put him up here again, take this away. Good boy. You didn't see that when I grabbed it, I pinched his lips into the teeth. A little discomfort. Good. So I'm going to get this down again. Here I'm trying to accent the break release. Good. Nice patience. Waited for him to figure it out. He went down and then I gave it to him right away. Timing on that was almost right away, right? Good. So he understands. Good. Duration marker. That's what we're working on here. Good. Good, and I don't have a name for him. Usually I'd have a name and I'd try to accent the name, dog's name, preparatory to the command or to the action, right? In this regard, it's giddy. Good boy, good. And I want to time that with a yep, so we're going to come back and do it again. Come on. Yeah, yep, good. And I'm going to get to down. Nope. There's your no marker, and all we're doing is we're saying no and we're not giving him the food, so he's being robbed of food. It's his first no marker, it's his first development of the no marker and for his understanding. He doesn't understand it yet, but after with time, he will. Good. Good boy. Yep, good boy. Okay, so we want to get that yep in there, so the explosion from one object to the next will do that for me, right? Where I'm here, and all of a sudden I'll say yep, so I'm going to work on that for this session. Nope. Good. Yep. Good boy. Good boy. So right away, yep, and then throw, right? Same thing would be the explosion release off of these to the others. But right now, I'm doing this. I want to get this dog high on these little toys for right now, especially since we saw that fear period, and this is going to help me carry him through that when we're back out in public again. Now, I've also said I'm going to back off of that until he gets about a couple more weeks. Good boy, good. Nope, nope. There's that robbing of what he wants, right? He wants the food, he wants the toy, and right away the no marker comes in there, just says nope. Just means you didn't do the right thing, but you notice there's no real correction. There's just robbing him of food. Good. Good. So I picked a pattern. Yep. Good boy, good. The same pattern to convey a thought to the animal of what I'm after, right? But there's methods to the madness here. The method is to get him to understand his explosion release. I've also got him doing the down, so I'm working on that a little bit, and then we'll work a little bit more on the explosion release because that's my main accent point for this session, and I didn't know that until I started working the dog, and it just came to me, and boom, that's it, click, right? That's that gut feeling of dog training I talk about. Good. There is no exact way, because you have such a fluid. Good boy, good, good. Yep, good boy, good. And I showed it to him, I paused, and then I threw it. So the pause is the same way on this down, right? We're doing the duration marker, so I'm accenting the same type of thing into something else that's gonna end up dovetailing into that concept, right? Of what I want. So think about this. I've got him up on the table. Yep, good boy, good. I'm asking for a down. Good. I've done a nice little long pause. Nope, come on. I'm accenting the no marker by robbing him of food. Good. Good. Nice pause in between my good marker. Good. Duration marker. Good. Yep, good boy. So what I'm after, I want him to see the target, which is that toy, and not break, and then there's a pause, and then throw it. So the pause, the same thing on that good duration marker, is going to be similar to that, and he'll figure out the next concept, which is he's got to wait, and it's coming, right? It's coming. And he's waiting, and all of a sudden, yep, and there it is, right? Same thing with the food. Click, and it's coming, right? So we're trying to dovetail a lot of these concepts that mean the same basic thing, that he can figure it out sooner and better because we're doing things the right way. Out, good. Up, good boy, that's good. All right, you ready, ready? You ready, ready? Good. Good. Yep. Good boy, and that time I just showed it to him, and I kind of hit it with my hip and then right away threw it. So again, working on trying to conceive to get that concept across to him. And then all that it takes is consistency with that, throwing that into my powers of 2s and 3s, moving those concepts in between the primary one, the one that he's learning the next, and then the one that he doesn't know at all, right? This would be the one he doesn't know at all. And then I'm going to try to end it on a high point, which would be this play toy. Good boy, good, yeah, good boy, good, and drive, right? Good boy, good, yeah, because it's a bullish, huh? That's a bullish, huh? All right, good, out. Good, there you go. Yeah, good boy, good, there you go. Good, good boy, out, good. Ah, good boy, good, there you go. Good boy. Good boy. All right, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, the run of the litter, and this will probably be the last film on him because sometime this weekend he goes. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Have a good day, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.